Hey everyone! So in today's video, what I'm going to be doing is removing and then drying the rest of my Gomphrena. So it seems like it's the time of the season where every time I come out into the garden, it's to pull a plant, which can be a little sad, but things are definitely starting to wind down. I'm looking forward to having kind of all that extra time back in the day over winter, just being inside and cozy. So, plan for today. I'm going to remove all of the Gomphrena, and it actually does still look pretty good. So if I was just going to leave this to look pretty in the garden, then I would leave it probably for a few more weeks. But because I want to cut and dry the flowers to use in projects over the winter, I want to make sure that I'm pulling the flowers while they still look good. If they start to die, I'm not going to want to dry those. So they're still in good condition. We're going to go ahead and basically cut off all of the flowers. I will take you along with me as I dry those, and I'll show you how many total I have so far inside that are already drying. Then I'm going to pull the rest of the plant from this raised bed here, and another reason why I am pulling them now is because I have a bunch of spring bulbs that I want to get into this raised bed and then my center raised bed as well. I'm actually really excited because this is my first year having bulbs, so next year when it's like late March, early April, there's nothing really happening in the garden, I will hopefully be getting some daffodils and tulips, and of course I'll take you along with me in those videos as I plant them. But let's go ahead and get started with removing this Gomphrena. So I've gone ahead and picked all of the flowers that still looked good enough to dry, and I have an entire basket full now of Gomphrena. And then looking at the bed over here, so you can see there's still a lot of blooms, but either they were too small to be worth drying, or they had already started to expand, so they kind of, here I'll show you up close over here, to elongate, and I don't want to save those either. So with the rest of the plant, I'm just going to go ahead and pull these so that we have a completely empty raised bed. And here we have an empty raised bed. It's a little sad just because it looks so empty now in the garden, but I have to remember that I'm going to be planting bulbs in here to get some nice color this spring. So this is now empty, and then if you saw my video pulling marigolds, all these are empty too. There's one echinacea over there and a daisy that I'm going to pull the daisy. I think the echinacea I'm going to leave for any birds that might be foraging this winter, but yeah, we're getting closer and closer to the end of the garden season. So now is time to dry the Gomphrena that I cut. And I have showed this in a video before, my process. I'm going to do a few things differently this time because I am lazy. But typically what I would do is remove the leaves from these, but I just don't feel like it right now. So I'll let them dry, and then when I'm doing the crafts, I'll decide if I want to remove the leaves or not. Another thing I'm doing differently is typically I think I would harvest like 10 to 15 at a time just to keep the color in the bed very colorful, but I'm going to maybe do 4 bunches here because I just don't feel like only having small bunches. I kind of want to get this done and get them hanging up and dried. So I'll go ahead and I'll show you how I wrap one of these, and then we'll get the rest wrapped up and hanging up inside. Okay, so I have one bunch right here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the twine. I'm going to do one knot kind of in the middle of the stems, and for this one you want to do it tight because as, well, any plant dries, they're going to get a little bit smaller, so you want to wrap it extra tight to take in that into account. I also left this little edge right here because I'm going to use that in just a second, but basically after I tie my knot, I just go ahead and loop it around a couple times, again just to get it a bit more tight and binded together. And then I use the little extra that I had, tie it under here, and make another knot. And I'm also going to leave some string at the end so I can hang it upside down, but that's essentially how I bind these together to dry. So here we are now. So these two, did I have 4 large ones? No, I only had 3. So 1, 2, 3 are the large ones I just hung up. And then I have all these that are drying or been drying for a few weeks. And then these that have been drying as well. So I think I will definitely have more than enough Gomphrena for whatever projects I choose to do. So that's going to be everything for today's video. I feel like the next few videos are probably going to be me pulling more plants. I know I still have to remove dahlias, the giant zinnias at some point. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next. Bye.